Hi, welcome to your weekly Perform Good workout recording for you as we are, celebrating the inauguration, dreading the inauguration, not really sure which one, but either way, cue up the playlist, put this on, and we are going to be good to go. So today's workout is, again, a little bit more conditioning based and with the strength. So we're going to be doing an AMRAP, or two rather, after the warm up, which stands for as many rounds as possible. So you're going to be alternating back and forth between two different exercises for a certain amount of reps, and I'll tell you that. We'll get a nice 2-minute break in between, and then we'll move on to our second AMRAP. So let's get started with a warm up. Coming onto the balls of the feet, you're going to roll back onto the heels, abs nice and tight, pulling the toes up towards the shins. Right? Getting your bearings. Hands can come on your hips. Make sure that you're well planted through both sides of the balls of the foot. We're just going to be here for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, keeping the glutes engaged so that way you're not breaking at the hip. Always available to have your hands on something for support. And now rolling onto the outer edges of the feet, keeping the toes from curling, right? So they're going to be nice and straight as if you're making, just pointing, right? So it's inverting and everting through the foot, right? So you're just kind of, imagine you were had glue on the bottom of your big toe ball mound and you're lifting up some pages to open them. Good. Really go as far as you can. And all right, we're going to come into some knee hugs, right? So more dynamic moving. So really plug into the foot that's staying planted there. Give that knee a squeeze in towards the chest. Don't dump into the standing leg, but keep it nice and active. Squeeze the glutes. Good. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And a little bit of a quad stretch. So keeping the knees in line, squeeze the glutes, opposite arm reaches up towards the ceiling, just for 2 seconds, right? So you're reaching your hand up towards the sky, abs are in, you're not arching the spine, trying to get the knees in line, and elongate the knee that you're holding down towards the floor. One more from side to side. Excellent. All right, guys. Next move up, getting into that outer hip, we're just going to pull into a little cradle or a tabletop. If it's easier for you to come to the front of your shin, just make sure you're not pulling on your foot, right? Abs in nice and tight, feeling that space on the outer side of the hip start to open a little bit. Gentle pull here. Oh, see, I went for the bottom of my foot. Do as I say, not as I do. Last one from side to side. All right. So getting the body a little bit more warmed up. If you have some hamstring restrictions, you're going to go ahead and elevate your heels or keep a soft bend in your knees. Reach your arms up towards the ceiling and touch down to the ground. Really try and plant your hands. And again, if you can't reach the ground, set some blocks or stack some books. Really just kind of waking up through the spine here. Getting that blood flowing through the whole body. Hinging at the hips, getting that pattern, keeping the spine long until we're at that flat, halfway tabletop with the back. Then you can round a little. Good, and arms up, tick-tock from side to side, hands come down. Separate your feet, hips with distance. You're going to step back into a lunge position. Hold here, reach up and over. So that's your right knee that's forward. And then come back up to stand. Again, pushing through that front heel. Getting that stretch. Knees got to be down. Don't try and do that stretch in a hover position. There's going to be plenty of time for work. You might already feel it here. Oh, forgot that. Good, one more on this side. So just about 6. Come up to stand, stepping it back with the right foot. Good, pushing into that left heel. Good, think about elongating through the body. And 2 more. Last one. Excellent, okay. We're gonna do a few walkouts into a shoulder tap back to a down dog. So again, stand with feet about shoulder width distance apart. You're gonna come down with that long spine. Okay, you're in a plank position now. Tap right, tap left. And then press back to a down dog. Leave your hands where they were. Come into an up dog. Come into a crouch. Back to your plank. Walk it back with straight legs. Come up to stand. We're going to do that twice more. All right, so walking out to a plank. Try not to rock from side to side. Keep the core super tight. Spread your heels back. Squeeze the glutes as you tap your shoulders. Down dog. Up dog. Crouch, knees go wide. Plank. And then walking on back. Last one. Shoulder tap. Down dog. Up dog, right? It's a little bit of an awkward up dog there. And then come on back up. All right, let's get into warming up the body with some squats. So feet are going to come about shoulder width distance apart. Chest stands up nice and tall. You're gonna come back into a squat, so come about to parallel. And then squeeze your glutes, come up to stand. Reach as you come forward. It's counterbalancing to help keep your chest lifted. Right? Keep the shoulders plugging down away from the ears. Keep those knees driving apart. Screw your feet into the ground. For 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and done. All right. Just gonna move a little bit more, getting that hinge position. So same contralateral reach. We're gonna come into a single leg deadlift. So think of the body moving as a seesaw, right? This is one end, this is the other end. Everything is gonna stay square, right? We don't rotate when we're on the seesaw. So, standing on your left foot, right leg is gonna go back, right arm is gonna come forward. Think about making a T. Follow your vision, so you should be looking down on the floor, and then as you come up, you're looking straight ahead. Reaching forward, right? You can come and place your foot down or leave it on a hover. Keep those toes pointing down towards the ground on that lifted leg. 3. Good. Keep wrapping your right hip down. 2. And last one. Good. Knees stay stacking over the ankle. Switching to the other side. We're just going to do 6 reps. Good. Reaching the body long. Trying to create space. Engaging all your muscles, right? If you want to bring both arms into it, go ahead and bring both arms in. Sometimes that hand on the hip really helps keep the tripod of the foot plugging down into the floor. Last one. And come on up. All right. Is the body feeling warm? I hope so. So, grab a sip of water if you need it. We are going to start our AMRAP shortly. First AMRAP is going to be 8 minutes. We're going to have a 2-minute break, and we're going to do another 8-minute AMRAP, okay? Excellent. So, first set of moves is going to be your standard deadlift, right? So, coming up, grab your weights where you can, right? Shoulders are going to charge back. You're going to shift your hips back in space, making a table. Now, you can challenge yourself with a heavy weight, right? Think about what you can do for 8 reps, because we're going to do 8 reps of that first move. Your second move is going to be a single leg squat. So we're going to do 6 on one leg and 6 on the other. I like to put something behind me so that way I have a reference point, And then I'm gonna tap my butt down on one leg, 6 reps, and then 6 reps. You can also always add a pad to that chair, which I'm actually gonna do. Forgive the loud noises. So that's gonna be your reference point, right? Tap, back up. If you need assistance here, I recommend doing this with no weight, or maybe 5 pounds for counterbalance. As you come down, you'll lift your arms up. Cool? So, that being said, feel free to catch your breath whenever necessary. I'm gonna put my fan on overhead because it's about to get hot in here. So, 8-minute AMRAP, starting with the deadlifts. Are you guys ready? This is where music would really help you out. All right, we are officially on the clock. So remember that good body positioning. The spine stays long. If you're working with dumbbells, right, we want to make sure that the chest is staying above the hips as they go back, pulling everything in towards center, wrapping your armpits in. The knees are going to stay stacked. 5, 6, 7, 8. You can also do this with a band. That's totally fine. Okay, so coming into that single leg squat, I'm going to start with my left leg. Okay, keep that knee from coming in towards center. So really get your balance here. Take your time. 4. We're already a minute in. 5. Try to keep the spine from rounding. 6. Good, right? So a foam roller next to you to help you, or if you're in a gym and you want to use a TRX for support, that's always a great tool. 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Excellent. Coming back into that deadlift, right? So hinging at the hips, wrapping those armpits in, pushing through the floor. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, hands stay tight to the body. 7, 8. Excellent. All right. Back into that single leg squat. All right. Catching your breath as you need it. I like to do this on an elevated platform normally, right? So I'll use the seat of my couch. So that way I don't have to worry about swinging my other leg forward. You can also glide it on the floor if that works for you, right? If you have a slider or a sock on. And other side. 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. All right. Round 3. I need a sip of water. I'm going to go grab that. Always feel free. Pause if you need to. Woo! All right. Don't break your water. Catch your breath. Come right back into it. We don't stop for mistakes here. All right. Dry your hands off. Abs in tight. Picking that up. Nice long spine. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. All right. Now, making sure that I'm not going to slip Let me grab a towel for under my feet. I should have known that was gonna happen. All right, guys, left leg starting on. We're more than halfway through. So, core tight. 1, 2, 3, 4, and you can step your foot down in between each one. 5, 6, right? Really using that standing leg. Catch your breath, take a second, get your composure. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Excellent. All right. I'm going to change to a single weight because I went pretty heavy. And also the other one is completely soaking wet now. So same positioning, right? But now I'm grabbing onto each side. So I'm bending my knees as much as I need to. I'm picking up each side. Good. Imagine you're holding a $100 bill in underneath your arms, in between your armpits. Good, right? That's gonna help that nice positioning, keeping that spine long. 2 more. And 8, set it down. Right back in, set yourself up, take the time. This is a lot of work. It's not easy, it's a challenge, it's an endurance challenge. We have 2 minutes left. And then a nice 2-minute break. 2, 3, and maybe you lose your balance. Maybe you're starting to fatigue by now. That's normal. 4, 5, don't collapse. 6, good. Whole leg is working to stabilize. Good, spine is nice and long. Good, right, don't look down at the floor. If you need to, I like to focus on a spot. That's why I'm not looking directly at the camera. So my chin is a little tucked, but you want to think about maybe looking at the wall in front of you. Same thing as like when we do those deadlifts, right? With that cross-body reach. Keeping that neck nice and long. 2 more. Last one. Excellent. Minute to go. Coming in to that nice positioning, wrapping those armpits in, and squeezing the butt to stand up. Keeping everything close to the body, right? You don't want to swing those weights forward or that weight. Two more. Last one. All right. 20 seconds left. I'm just going to alternate from side to side here. That way I stay nice and even. Good. And one more from side to side, and then a nice long rest. Now, take that break. If you didn't have weights, again, you could use a child or a pet or something in your home that's heavy that you can get a good grip on. Fill up a backpack with your heaviest goods, right? Take a bungee cord around something that has a handle. 5-gallon jugs of water, pretty heavy. You can also keep it super light. Use your body weight, use bands. Practice that muscular contraction, right? That tension through the body. So now we are going to, well, I'm going to get that water out of the way. I'm going to move these dumbbells off to the side because I'm going to switch to a kettlebell for our next part of the challenge. All right. So we have got our next move is going to be a bent over pull, right? So think because we're using one kettlebell here, I'm gonna pull it in towards my chest. Notice that my elbows aren't out at my sides. I'm making a little A-frame with the body. I'm pulling the kettlebell right up to the center of my chest. We're going to do 10 of those, okay? Then, and now actually this is where I can use this towel for my benefit here, okay? So we're gonna come into a bear plank position, and if you have socks on, go ahead and use socks. If you have sliders at home, go ahead and use sliders. You're gonna hover your knees, extend your legs, and then bring your knees back under your hips. We're gonna do 10 of these. Notice that I'm not pushing my whole body back as we go. All right, guys, are you ready? We are gonna get ready to go. In 3, 2, and 1. All right, so if you feel like you wanna add a couple of reps on here, go ahead and do that, right? 2. Keep those feet plugging down into the floor, keeping the knees stacking over your ankles, right? Any manner of angle through the chest is fine, but you want to keep that nice long spine. And excellent. All right, so that was 10. Coming onto that bear plank position. So shoulders are stacking over wrists, knees extend, or rather you're extending through the hip and the knee as well. Keep the heels charging back, right? The slower you move, the more ab work it is. You can also do this on an incline. So I'll show you that for the next round. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Coming back in towards center. Again, I like to stand with the belt inside of my heels. That way I know I'm setting up correctly. My weight is going back correctly. Again, same wrapping with the arms that we did in that dual dumbbell deadlift. 7, 8, 9, 10. All right, so if we are working on an incline, what does that look like? Hands are going to be on a platform or a couch, right? So that's just taking the weight out. So your legs won't feel like you're going back as much, but you'll have less weight to move, right? You can even wrap your hands around if you have kind of a narrow platform like I do here. Really squeeze those abs in tight, glutes are engaged. Try not to move through the shoulders. Excellent, all right. Next round, we are more than 2 minutes in. Setting up at the heels, good, wrapping in. Good form is paramount to anything else, right? So take your time, take as much time as you need. You can also do this with a band wrapped around your feet and pulling on the band. Feel like you could break the bell apart. Don't let the shoulders round forward. The elbows are coming in line with the bottom of the ribs. Last one. Excellent. Set it down. You can even do this on your forearms on a platform, okay? So, same thing. Keep pushing through the back side of the body, right? Don't collapse through the shoulders. 4, 5, 6, 7, drag your elbows back in space. 9, 10. Good. Back up to stand. And coming into that next round. Again, remember, breaks as you need them. Now that I've figured out this water, I'm gonna take a sip. We're about halfway through, more than halfway through. Okay? So, back
back in, heels in between, hinging at the hips, breaking that belly apart. 1, abs are tight, toes are pointing straight forward. 4, neck is long. 5, 6, think about wrapping your thighs in. 7, set it down gently, coming back in to that nice bear to plank. Okay, really wrapping those shoulders, those armpits in towards center, keeping the shoulders stacked over the wrists. Neck is long, you're looking straight down at the floor, not at what's happening behind you or in front of you. Excellent. All right, you guys ready? You got 2 minutes left, okay? Well, 6 minutes here. But using a lot of the same musculature that we did before. So again, grab that bell. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Set it down. Coming back in for our maybe last set of this. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Okay, we've got another 25 seconds on this clock. Let's take one more round of that row. And here we go. 15 seconds. 2, 3. Notice how I'm not rushing through this. 3, 2, 1, and done. All right, so how are you feeling? Good? Awesome. All right, let's get a little stretch in. Drop your right ear towards your right shoulder and just hang out here. Try and reach your fingertips down your sides. Breathing in, breathing out. Inhale back through center, over to the other side. Nice, long, even exhales and inhales. Calming down the nervous system. Reaching the fingertips away from you, creating more space through the neck. Inhale back through center, sweep the arms up and overhead. Grab hold of your left wrist with your right hand. Reach up and over, push down through your left foot, bend the right knee, come onto the ball of the right foot. And then inhale back through center, switch sides. Right wrist, left hand, pushing down through the right foot, keeping everything nice and square. Go taller, taller, taller. And sweep your arms down by your sides, fold over your legs. Interlace your hands behind the base of your neck. Move the weight more towards the front of your foot and just hang here. Try and elongate your head, crown of the head down to the floor. Right? Keep the heels pushing down to the floor. Screw your feet into the ground so that way the knees kind of turn away from one another. Good. And then sway from side to side. If you have a weight in front of you, maybe move it out of the way. Good. So heel your feet a little bit wider than your shoulders. Come down into a nice deep squat, elbows inside the knees, pushing them apart. Keeping your chest nice and lifted. Just shift your hips from side to side. Excellent. Hands come behind you. Seat comes down to the ground. Stretch your legs out in front of you and just give them a little bit of a shake. Good. Bring your right foot onto the floor next to your left knee. Hug it in towards your chest. Then reach, place your left hand behind you. Reach your right arm up towards the sky. And twist. I know this is kind of like the opposite way of what we normally go, but I want you to do is pull your knee in towards your chest. So that way you kind of get a nice stretch through or pressure on the hip flexors, right? And then you're pulling your arm against one another, creating more space through this back of the right shoulder. So it's less about the full rotation through the spine, which is creating more space. Pressing into left fingertips, inhale back through center, arms up, extend long, fold over your legs for just 1 second. Bring your hands up the back side of your legs as you roll up, nice and slow, head coming up last. Drag that left heel in by the butt. Yeah, right fingertips come behind you onto the floor. Then reach your left arm up, hook the elbow to the front of your knee, pulling it in towards the chest. Lift up through the sideways, flex through the opposite foot, and then again, you're gonna pull the knee in and create space, right? No collapsing, no rounding. Just trying it as long as you can. We're creating space through the chest, right? And the front of the shoulder. And also across the back side of the body. Good, keep the elbow of the back arm pointing up towards the ceiling, right? And try and pull your collarbones apart. And inhale back through center, arms up, legs long, shake them out, shake them out, shake them out. Hands by your side, soles of the feet together. Let's get a little bit of a stretch through the inside the groin area. So what I want you to do is wrap your hands around the front of your ankles. And rather than trying to push your knees to the floor, I want you to pull your body forward, right? So what you're doing is you're kind of creating this isometric contraction, lengthening your knees, pulling them apart, pulling your chest through that space, coming onto the sits bones nice and evenly. And then I'm gonna have you curl back and round through the spine, chin to chest. And then pull forward and round, right? So it's a little cat-cow, but here we're seated, exhaling, blowing all the air out from the lungs. Good, pressing those feet together. Once more for that round. Come up to neutral. Come on to hands and knees. You're gonna step your feet back into a plank. Lift your hips high up and back into a downward facing dog. Pedal up through the legs. Keep pedaling as you begin to walk your feet forward. In between your hands, let your arms hang. Keep a soft bend to the knees. Engage the abdominals. Begin to roll up, stacking your spine, one vertebra at a time. And that's all she wrote. I hope you guys had fun. Let me know if you have any questions or any feedback. Please enjoy this workout, and I will see you guys next week. Let me know what you think. Bye.